All right, good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Baseball and Coffee, 10 a.m. What are we in, July 28th today? Is that where we're at? Damn, we're almost to August. Where are we? Yeah, July 28th. Holy cow. That's insane. All right. Hope everybody's doing great this morning. Very overcast day here. Got a little time to kick it around. We'll see what's going on. Had a great stream yesterday. We'll try to duplicate that again today. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Good morning to everybody. Swung at ball 4. Are you home or still traveling? I am home. I am home. Not traveling currently. I missed a stream or two. Have we talked about Brent Headrick quietly having a great season? We haven't discussed Heady at all. But he is. He leads major leagues, I believe, in scoreless appearances. I think he's up to like 44, 45, something like that. He's been a big piece. Doval's struggled. Cruz, they don't really trust him with clean innings all that often. Tim Hill's gotten hit randomly this year, especially for power, which is unexpected. So Headrick's been massive. I got to meet him last year when I was briefly with the team. He had the great fastball. Now he's developed a good breaking ball. Maybe we'll take a quick peek at Mr. Headrick's numbers because he's been solid. They got him from the Twins. I mean, not just solid, actually tremendously good through 53 games, 6-1, 1.35. So yeah, pretty good. 10 more strikeouts than innings. I mentioned 45 of those are scoreless, very low whip. He actually pitched well last year. There just wasn't as much opportunity. So he's really stepped it up. The fastball is special. It's got good ride to it, good velo to it for a lefty. Something about it, he hides it pretty well. And then the sliders become a good pitch for him as well. Let's see what we got on whiff rates and stuff this year. I mean, it's 50% whiff on slider. 50%. That's pretty good. And not only 50% whiff, 167 batting average, and the expected's even lower at 146. So the sliders become a ridiculously good pitch. Four seems good as well. And that's kind of it. He comes right at you. Here's the run values on the year, 12 run value on the four-seamer, 3 on the slider. Also has a sinker and a splitter, but what's the usage on those? Pretty light. 11% on sinker. I bet that's only versus lefties. Versus lefties, the sinker becomes 24% of the equation. Versus righties, it's 2.5%. So yeah, he just jams some lefties with it. 2 fastballs and a really good breaking ball will take you a long way in the bullpen. Then on top of that, the split's been pretty effective. Let's look at it from both. The split, he's only thrown 53 of these puppies, but 188 batting average, almost a 50% whiff. So yeah, he's been great. He's been a great find for the Yankees. Thought that was a good question right there about Heady, and he's been really good. Gets that W yesterday. I'm officially a little concerned about the way Will Warren's been pitching. I think his last however many starts just hasn't gone well for him. I'm wondering what the story is here because he was so good early, and I do believe in him still. He's still one of my favorite young pitchers, but he's going through a really rough stretch at the moment where all the gains he had made have kind of regressed back over this time frame, starting with his Red Sox start. 3.75 ERA at the moment. Then he goes 5 2/3, 5 runs, then 5 1/3, 2 runs, where he kind of escaped that game against Detroit. 6 runs against the Rays. Then he had a 5-1 where against Washington that he pitched around traffic like crazy. Got very fortunate in that one, and then it finally caught up with him in this last start versus the Phillies. So I'm a little worried about Will. I don't know how that's going to go. I know Max also had a tough game yesterday where he only pitched like 3 innings, but that's where the Yankee bullpen was able to step up. It's definitely helped for the Yankees from a Yankees perspective that they've gotten such good starting pitching the last couple times through. Cole, Fried, Schlittler, even Weathers. But then they were able to do this to their bullpen yesterday. Shivee, who's been good. Hill, who I've mentioned, has been oddly struggling with hits. Fernando Cruz pitched great. Headrick pitched great, picked up that win. And then Blackburn's been unconscious. He's got a streak going. Even Doval got in on the action yesterday, but Volpe dropped that pop-up, so it made Bednar come in. But anyway, good first game for the Yankees in the White Sox against the White Sox without Belly, and now they're in an interesting scenario now. Do you think the Yankees should sell at the deadline? I don't think they're going to sell. This is the follow-up to that. Are they done without Bellinger and Stanton? I mean, I don't know when they're coming back. 4 to 6 weeks gives plenty of time. It gives enough time for Bellinger to be back and play a little bit before the postseason, which is huge. Judge, I'm worried about Judge. I've been saying that for weeks, but they seem pretty confident that he's going to come back. You'll be able to tell by their deadline actions. Stanton's the type of guy where there's never any news on him, and then one day he's in the lineup. So we'll stay subtle on Giancarlo. We don't really know. So I don't think they're done. I think they'll buy, but how aggressive they are is probably an indication of how healthy Judge is. All right, let's keep moving here. The surprise of the Yankees is Paul Blackburn. I agree. This is a great example of a pitcher who knows how to pitch, and then he starts throwing harder, and he becomes unbelievable. Blackburn with velocity, unbelievable. Ugh, the wife is calling me. Hello? What is it? Should I put the stream on? Okay. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to deal with an emergency there, but I think we're fine. All right, let me keep going here. Ray Cruz's struggles. What adjustments are usually made in season? More mechanical, more planning? I don't think Cruz is struggling. He just he is what he is. He throws a lot of chase pitches. He's nasty. If you don't swing, he might walk you. It's just the nature of the forkball. And then he's not as confident with his fastball, so he sprays it a lot. But that being said, he's still a very useful pitcher. As you've seen, he's great in fireman situations where a walk or a strikeout are acceptable. Clean innings are a little tougher because he's probably going to add some traffic. But I'd have him on my team any day. Can you tell me if my Reds will be any good? Well, I was pretty confident in that not that long ago, Bluford, but now I'm not confident in it at all because I don't think you have many keepers on the position player side. So that's tough. That's tough as hell. Yeah, I'd like to get Sam on here. I actually just sent out a text in my Baseball and Coffee group chat to try to get somebody on the show, maybe this week or next. I'd like a Red Sox because they've been playing so well, but Sam would be good. I think we'll get it. We're gonna. It's hard in the season, but we're gonna get a ton of people in the off season for sure. All right, what else we got here? Anyone from the Reds pen you'd want to keep? Brock Burke, Brock Burke, good, but I think this might be the best he's ever looked. So I don't know. And Antone is tough because you can't really rely on him because of the triple Tommy Johns. I don't feel good about hardly anyone, but there might be some spare parts. Like Brock could help somebody. I'm sure Sam Maul, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Why do we not ever see guys training, increasing sprint speed? Seems like an easy tool for training in the offseason. People definitely do this. People definitely do this more than you probably think. But it's hard. It's hard to get faster as you age. Lifelong Buccos fan, do they have a shot at the playoffs? They do, and that's going to bring me to the standings today. I always wait for a nice segue to get to the standings, and then we'll do our standings check here. First, so if you want to start with the NL Central. So, lifelong Buccos fan here asks if the Pirates have a shot at the playoffs. Look, right now they're tied for the wild card last spot. So yes, they do have a shot. They have some good players. They really do. Skeens, Ashcraft, Jones, Bubba's pitched better as of late. Keller's pitched better as of late. So that's 5 pitchers right there. They're trying to figure out their bullpen. Obviously, they DFA'd Santana. They have some guys that have thrown well, some guys that haven't. Offensively, it's been a much better year. Unfortunately for them, they're in a pretty tough division. There's stiff competition left and right. But I think they can absolutely contend for this last spot of the playoffs. They have to beat out, let's see, the Diamondbacks, the Nats, the Cardinals, the Padres, the Marlins. I think they can do it. I do. I think they can do it. I think they'll be one of the final teams that they'll be duking it out with, because I think the Nationals might sell some more, as for the Cardinals and maybe the Padres as well. And I don't know what's up with the Marlins. They can't seem to do anything right. They did win last night, though. But yeah, I think the Pirates, I think they got a shot. All right, so let's do the standings while we're here. All right. We will start with the American League East. As always, Tampa Bay, 2.5 up on the Yankees. Both teams win yesterday. Red Sox win again in Sacramento. So no real changes here. Actually, every team in this division won yesterday, so nothing new. Although, sneaky, Baltimore is going to be an intriguing team to watch. They're under 500, but I think they could be competitive the rest of the year. Be curious what they do at the deadline. That'll be interesting. They are playing Detroit right now, kind of burying Detroit a little harder. AL Central, White Sox 2 up, lost to the Yankees last night. Cleveland's lost 5 in a row, keeping the White Sox sitting on top. Minnesota, only one back in the wild card. They're going to be another weird team at the deadline. We talked about them. Detroit, now they've lost 3 in a row. They were really gaining momentum, so they better flip that right now. AL West, Texas 2 up on Houston, 2.5 up on the Mariners. SOS to the Mariners, I don't know. I just don't know. NL East, Braves got their butts kicked by the Mets last night, but the Phillies lost as well in Miami. Wheeler had a tough go, I think. I think he had a really short start. Anyway, Braves 5.5 up. Nationals 8.5 back. Marlins falling fast, and Mets getting ready to sell. NL Central, we just talked about that. Brewers sitting good. Can the Cubs make it a race? We'll find out. I do see the Cardinals and the Reds kind of fading out of this thing now. NL West, Dodgers way ahead. They've just been doing whatever, though, the last couple weeks. So really nothing to catch up on that. We already looked at the NL wild card. American League wild card. Minnesota right there. They're going to be intriguing to see what they do. But really everybody up to Detroit and maybe even Toronto. I'm kind of burying Toronto, and I'm about to bury Detroit, but they can flip it around right now. All right, Coffee Cup winners from last night. This was a sight for sore eyes. Francisco Lindor, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Wouldn't mind taking a peek at Frankie today. Jock Peterson, 2 home run day. Nico Hoerner, who also needed this, 4-hit day. Bregman, 4-hit day. A couple 4-hit days yesterday, 3 of them. Jackson Holiday, Bregman, and Nico. As for WPA, Cedon had the big blow, the grand slam in Boston. Great call by Mike Monaco, which was shown in our Discord earlier today. Here it is. Mike Monaco's call of the Cedon Rafaela grand slam. As this one flipped the script in this ballgame, it was 6th inning, 1-0 Sacramento before this with 2 outs. And you see the devastation from Jack Perkins. Which, yeah, I've been there before. I get it. Anyway, wall scraping, big home run from Cedon. That gave him the WPA win. Also, Jock Peterson, Heriberto Hernandez. As for the pitchers, Merrill Kelly wins the 3 Cups award, going 5 2/3 scoreless with 6 Ks. It was not a crazy day on the bump. I saw a request in what to watch for Kumar Rocker. I've been into Walbert Urena lately. Payton Tolle pitched pretty good. I thought Zac Thornton competed pretty well in that game yesterday as well. But a lot of people didn't throw as good yesterday. Where's that really bad, really tough game from Wheeler? I don't know. Kirby got lit up, 7 runs. Fried struggled bad in the first. Scherzer didn't make it out of the third. Hoffman, dominant outing. There was a request for a Hoffman watch, too. I saw it in the chat earlier because he had such a dominant outing. But anyway, that's the scenario. Also on Monday, no prospects play. So let me get back into the chat here and see what we got. What would you add if you're a White Sox GM? They're in a tough spot in my mind because they can't mess with the future too much. And they have such a young group of players that they don't want to mess with. But if they're trying to add anything, probably a starting pitcher, maybe one relief pitcher, and then you just kind of go with it. But they can't afford to give up too much from future years, despite being in first place, because I think they know deep down they don't have enough pitching to probably do anything in the postseason this year. But that's just my opinion. What is your lifting schedule like in season? It's funny. I just actually talked about this with a kid that I work with. As a reliever, it's different. As a reliever, you kind of have to, especially in the majors, there's so much chaos, so it's hard to schedule out lifts. But as a rule of thumb, I like to have 2 total bodies a week. But I just find a way, even if I have to split them up, do them pregame, do them right after I pitch to consolidate the stress, then that's the move. But yeah, you're just trying to touch everything. It's more maintenance, not trying to make gains in season, trying to maintain. And a lot of it's correctives and trying to make sure that I feel good and get on to my next start. But I'm not trying to make any gains in season. That's off season personally. Unless you're in a different situation where you're not playing a lot, and then you can pivot your training. Should the Braves try to get Skubal? I think so. I think so for sure. All right, I'm just still looking here. What type of pitching adjustments are usually made in season? I mean, too many to count. Everything is a micro adjustment, whether it's mechanics, feel, grip, usage, choices, what you're thinking about, where you're looking. I mean, there's a million things to do. Who do you think would be the most aggressive teams at the deadline? So, I mean, you just gotta go off. You gotta kind of GM profile a little bit here. I'd say Dave Dombrowski, always incredibly aggressive. I also think Alex Anthopoulos. So both of those teams in the NL East, I think, will be aggressive. And then, you know, you gotta always keep an eye on Dipoto, because Dipoto and Preller, those 2 guys in Seattle and San Diego, make a ton of trades. Trying to think who can be the most opportunistic. I mean, I wish it was the Rays or the Brewers a little bit, but I don't know if they will be. We'll see. Why haven't the Orioles sold yet? Well, it's because they're too close to the playoff spot, and they don't want to give in on that. I do think Taylor Ward could be a piece for them if they do decide to go that way. Curtis Mead, first game, got whacked in the hand by... He got whacked in the hand in Sacramento. We could maybe take a quick peek at that. This was last night. Athletics, Red Sox, Boston. Mead, 0 for 1 with the hit by pitch. So this was the hit by pitch right in the old hand. X-rays, looks like they came back clean. This is the side view on that. Right off the wrist. Looks like it avoids the hand pad, gets him on the bone. Honestly, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, but he's probably going to be day-to-day, and this is probably just a big ouchie. Thankfully, there's nothing broken there, but yeah, I don't know. That sucks, but the guy just gets to the team, and then that goes down. That's not the best. I would love to try this towards the end of the show, if somebody wants to remind me. Do we know if Wheeler's okay? You know, that's a good question. What happened with Wheels yesterday? He didn't look right? He ends up going 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 2 homers. Breakdown on Wheeler. The velo's down. This is not a great sign. Velo being way down here. 93.5 average is not really Zach right now. So don't be surprised if he's delayed here a little bit or some more news comes out of this. I'm not going to panic about it, but this was a weird start considering how good he's looked and how dominant, how easy it's looked for him. But yeah, it doesn't look great with the velo being down. That's definitely questionable in terms of what happened. Should we go quickly watch it for a second? I think that makes sense. Marlins, Phillies. I'll just try to speed watch it. There's no point in watching every pitch of this, but let's see what happened in this game. So first batter of the game is Otto Lopez. He's going to get a hit. That was a good located sweeper, but nice swing by Otto Lopez. Then he's going to strike out Stowers with a split. Sword. What else we got? In-play runs to Hernandez. So sinker in. Actually, it's a perfect location, but I think that's a homer. Yeah, so that's a big difference between 93 and 96 or whatever he usually throws. So, you know, if this is 96, he's probably not getting to that, but honestly, how many home runs are hit on up and in dotted sinkers? Not many. So, big home run there. Strikeout of Edwards on a curveball. Execution looks fine. And then strikeout of Hicks on a splitter. So 3 Ks in the first. I thought execution looked good on every pitch, even the 2 hits. But Vila was down. Second inning, this is going to be a home run to Griffin Conine. Hanging curveball, bottom of the zone. That didn't even look like bad execution either. And then here we go, 4-pitch walk to Sanoa. Cutter to Mac. That's also middle. 89 cutter popped up. That had good shape to it. There's nothing with the execution or the shape of his pitches that looks particularly crazy. It's just speed. So maybe a little dead arm. He has pitched a lot coming right back off the IL. I don't know. Just speculation here, so I guess we'll find out. But all these like that pitch was a bad pitch. Some of the other contact early wasn't bad pitches. That's just Otto Lopez doing what he does. Terrible decision by Crawford right there. I respect the effort, but bad decision. What else we got? Another strikes out Stowers twice with splitters. Curveball this time to Hernandez. So he's still getting punchies because he's that good at pitching. But yeah, did not feature his best stuff. That's middle popped up. Here's a hit. Liam Hicks. It's just like 92-3. Doesn't seem right. Splitter's getting punchies. And this is his last batter. Actually, it's funny, like, most of the executions have been pretty solid. Oh, bare hand Johnson. But yeah, something's up with the stuff. They get him out of there. Fastball's way down. I guess we'll wait for the report to come out. I have actually no idea, but that's not good for the Phillies if something was to be wrong with him. You think the Cards turn things around or start heading downwards? I got them starting to head a little downwards. I think they're going to lose a couple decent players at the deadline. And I just think that's the reality. But they're very well coached. They have a lot of young talent. They could defy me a little bit, but I don't think they're ready for prime time yet. All right. They've seen 2 requests for Jeff. So let's watch Jeff Hoffman. He had a dominating inning last night. Let's pull him up real quick. And I like your reasoning. He needs some good PR. So we'll go back to one of my old rookies, the man who uses my walkout song. I'm not mad about it. He said it was a tribute. But anyway, poor guy went through a tough stretch, obviously giving up that home run to Rojas last year. The way this season's gone has been weird. But you see the expected numbers have been great. We've been saying that the whole time. I still think they needed to put Varland in the closing role, and they have. But it's been a tough narrative, and I do think a lot of those losses early really hurt the confidence of the Jays. But since this 5-run disaster against the Orioles on the 5th, he's allowed exactly 3 runs. He had a .75 ERA in June, and he's got a 2.45 so far in July. So doing pretty good. Anyway, let's watch the outing versus the Nats yesterday. That's right, they played the Nats. Scherzer came back to his old stomping grounds. So let's watch a dominant Jeff Hoffman outing. 15 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Andres Chaparro is our first man up.
He leads off the 8th.
Slider up ball. Slider coming again. That's in. Slider coming again. So slider. Who are you, Ottavino out there? Swing and miss. Another slider. Look at that. 33.5% K percentage and about a league average walk percentage. Just basically means his BABIP, he's been getting killed on balls in play and probably giving up a few too many dingers. Anyway, he goes 5 sliders in a row to Chaparro, and that works. Now he's got Abrams. Slider. Man, he's just going to go full Luke Gregerson here? I mean, this is a lot of sliders. Wow. Unleashes 8 sliders in a row, or maybe it's 8 sliders in a row to start this inning, and that was just filthy back foot slider. See you later, CJ. Now Dylan Cruz. Oh, a fastball. Strike. And then there's a slider that doesn't quite get to where he wants it. Hammered in the gap by Dylan Cruz. Good swing by Dylan Cruz. Waiting for him to break out. And then I think he's going to punch out this last guy too, Lyle. Slider. See you later. Splitter. Ooh, I like the action on that. Slider again. Nasty. See, his slider's great for chase. I don't like it in the zone at all, though. That's for me why I think he struggles a little bit with such great stuff. It's just the slider's not great in the zone, and sometimes he sprays the fastball. Although I say this was a dirty splitter. If you can throw this one more often. My God. Yikes. So yeah, dominant outing on the strength of sliders and splitters. Did still give up a hit on the slider. Wonder what his numbers are looking like this season on his slider. Just from a results standpoint. 233 batting average, expected batting average of 162. Expected, so really good. Actually, no home runs on the slider this year, which is crazy. Just giving up home runs this year. Where's 2026? Home runs this year, 4 on the four-seamer, that's it. So nothing on the slider, which is funny because I do think it can be a home run pitch. Huge whiff rate. Slider's still been very dominant. Very dominant. Split's actually been bad, so that means that most of the time that's been lousy, and then he's gotten clipped a little bit with some bad, I think, luck overall. But anyway, that was a good outing. That was a good outing. I do feel like gyro slider guys, though, in general, you are going to hang some pitches. You are going to hang some pitches. All right, what else we got here? Do I feel bad for the Mets? I mean, yeah, a little bit. More for the fans. More for the fans. You know, it kind of is the way it is, you know? Thoughts about JMO? As a Cubs fan, I'm definitely bittersweet about it. Great guy, but too many home runs. Yeah, I didn't realize JMO was struggling as much as he was this year. I mean, he's one of the all-time great guys in baseball. Typically pounds a strike zone. Pitched really well, 24 and 25 for the Cubs. This was the last year of the deal, so gets DFA'd yesterday. I think that's just kind of where the Cubs are at and how he's been trending. The velo's been tough. He's starting to hit that age point. 91.8 on his four-seam this year. 92.3 last year. 92.3 the year before. 93.7 the first year of the contract. 94.1 last year with the Yankees. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely a velo issue. Velo's plummeting. He's trying to make up for it, and it just becomes tough to throw so many strikes when you also have some fly ball tendencies. 12% ground ball rate, but I love him. I'm sad a little bit for him because I know he loved being a Cub. Anything new about Valdez's hand from last night? Have not heard anything yet about that. Let's see what else we got. If you're the Marlins owner, are you buying or selling after the 12-game losing streak? Hard not to sell. Hard not to sell. I still don't think they have their complete team yet. They're a dangerous team, but I don't think they're a World Series champion team yet. I think they have some good pieces. It's hard not to sell. Just let's see. I would just kind of play it cool and see how often I get called and at what level. Can I ask who you played for? Cardinals, Rockies, Yankees, Red Sox, Mets. We talked about this yesterday. Too early to grade it. Overall value, I think the Nats come out on top, but I think the Red Sox made a move for them right now, which I have a hard time blaming them for. All right, let's get into watch some more stuff. Let's watch a hitter. Why don't we talk about maybe Francisco Lindor? He had the 2-home run game yesterday. A lot of haters out there talking about this guy being washed or something like that, but I told you he just gets off to a slow start every year. Plus he had the hamate. So this was him just getting readjusted to having a slow start. He's got a 743 OPS, and let's be honest, he played like basura for most of this season from his standards. So he's going to be over 800 before you know it, and everybody's going to be like, oh, okay. Anyway, been swinging it really well. 865 OPS in July. So it finally turned around. Obviously, it's a little bit too little too late, and the Mets can't do much about it, but I see three-hit games in recent times since July 19th, and yesterday he had a 3-hit game versus the arch rival Atlanta Braves. So I don't worry about him. I do think that he's declined a little bit on defense. I think that's fair just because of the speed. You know, he's getting a little bit older, but he's still way above average on defense. But yeah, it's fair to say I think he's struggled a little bit on defense. All right, first at bat, right-handed versus Martin Perez. Cutter middle. That would have been a good pitch to hit. Change up away ball. Sinker in ball. Yeah, and he didn't play hardly the whole year, dude. That's why it's a slow start for him. Anyway, there's the first ball off. I think that's a home run, right? They rule out a home run? I love the fact that he was able to shoot this out to right field. Oh, no, that's going to be a double or a triple. That's going to be a triple. So, great swing here. I was actually watching this. I don't know. I guess I left the room, never saw the replay, so I didn't know if this was a home run or not. I guess it wasn't. But this ball really carried. Great swing right on right, driving through that ball. 100.3 to the opposite field. And Frankie's going to end up on third. So, really nice swing there. That's the first good swing of the day. Yep, and then here is his second at bat. This is going to be a home run off Martin, so a triple home run.
There goes Ewing, first pitch. The throw caught by Bart is not in time. And Ewing steals the third stolen base against Martin Perez this year. So
all right, changeup and then another changeup. So this is going to be a mistake. He's going to ride it out. Yes, good job. Actually, he's been hunting that outside corner and staying back on off speed both at bats here. One on a slider goes the other way, and then the slower one rides it out and pulls the changeup. So home run and triple to start this off, both from the right side of the plate. Maybe just bad right-handed. I don't know. Man, good extension through that ball. So home run, triple, and then he's going to home run at the end of this game. Also right-handed. Man, poor Connor Thomas. I don't know if I've ever watched a guy wear it quite as hard as Connor Thomas has for the Braves, but it went from bad to worse right here. Falls behind 2-0. Challenge 87.7 mile-an-hour sinker to a guy seeing it good from the right side. And this is what's going to happen. Poor guy, man. I saw something. He's given up like 27 runs in like 13 innings or 11 innings. Anyway, the right-handed swing looks very dialed for Frankie. 104.6 at 31. This ball's just thumped. So yeah, maybe hit right-handed, bro. Anyway, I don't really want to show this too much, but poor guy was going through it after he gave this up. I know this feeling all too well. Anyway, it's going to be Frankie and a bunch of young guys here in a minute because they're about to trade everybody. Everybody that has value that isn't part of the future is probably going to get traded from the Mets, or at least attempted to be traded. I don't think the returns are going to be that great, though, considering some of the years. But look, yeah, I said he's declined a bit on defense. Still 82%, 82nd percentile outs above average. This is more what I've been looking at with Frankie, and I've been tracking. Look at the sprint speed over the years. He's now down to 30th percentile. I know he also plays at a slower speed, you know, more under control speed at this point of his game. But, you know, this is going to affect him a little bit range-wise. This is the first time we've seen him drop off a little bit on defense. And I think it's just that. I think it's just the speed-wise. If he does have to move off of the position later, I don't know. Second base, you also need some range. Third base, I think he's going to be a shortstop for a while, though. It's going to be still years, I'd say, before he drops below average. Anyway, yeah, 4 career games with a 20 ERA for Thomas. That's as tough as it looks. It's as tough as it gets, and I definitely feel for him for sure. And it's not his fault. Sometimes you just get, you know, you have to take one for the team, but boy, did he take one for the team. He took one for the team hardcore. Do you think that J-Mo getting DFA'd signals that the Cubs will be aggressively going after an arm at the deadline? I mean, I think this is a lock. I think they're definitely going to go after one, if not 2 starters, and I think they're going to be all arms all the time. I don't know what they're going to give up. Some combination of Shaw, Kevin Alcantara, Jackson Wiggins. I mean, whoever they got that they can deal, they're probably going to deal for some arms. Does PCA have a legit shot at the MVP? He does. He does. I actually talked about this a little bit in my vlog that I've been editing, which I think you guys hopefully will enjoy as I start to, add some more layers to this YouTube channel. But I absolutely think PCA has a shot at MVP. I laughed about it earlier in the year because I felt like as long as Shohei is pitching and hitting, it's pretty hard to beat his combined total value. Plus, there's a lot of hidden value in Shohei that people don't realize because he's basically two roster spots. Like he gives you additional roster spots. So that's why, to me, like he's hard to beat when he's doing both. But right now he's not doing both. And Pete's having that good of a year, especially when you add in the defensive part of it. He's literally the top defender in the sport, 100th percentile outs above average, and I believe 100th percentile fielding run value. Yep, 21 fielding run value, 5 clear of J.J. Weatherholt, who's also a stud, by the way, but this is ridiculously good. So, yeah, you layer in the defense, but then the offense, because of the less swinging, we've already diagnosed it, but he's gotten to a 928 OPS, scored 70 runs. I think he's right there. I think in terms of the combined WAR, I think he's actually edging Shohei now. So I'd say PCA is the leader in the clubhouse, NL MVP, in what's shaping up to be a truly special season if he can run through the finish line. So that's my answer on that. What else we got here? What team needs Lindor the most? Probably the Mets. Probably the Mets. Do you think Springer could be traded? I mean, he's not playing well. So, I don't know. I'll take the L on that one, Uncle Ted. I'll take the L on that. Come on, Wood's the better player, but I love CJ as well. Ooh, Tyrone could be an interesting piece. I think the Phillies make a lot of sense for him. I know the Mets don't like to trade to the Phillies, but they need some defense, man. Outfield defense. Tyrone's a spark plug. He's a winning player, man. This is so true. I could definitely see the Cubs overpaying for Reed Detmers. Yeah. Yeah, I got PCA edging Shohei right now. Pause. You have to pick one dark horse-ish team to make a run at the championship. Who you got? I got Red Sox. Convo I had at the gym this morning. Do you think MLB is ready for an openly gay player? Would it cost the player too much potential contract dollars to be worth it? You'll never be ready, but I would encourage anybody who is gay to become open and just make it happen. I think you might have to deal with a shitstorm, but you'll be a pioneer, and I think you'll be on the right side of history. What else we got here? Should the Mets hold on to Weaver? It depends on the offers, but I sense he might be out the door. Do I think the Twins buy? I don't think they should, but I don't think you can rule it out. They're a little nuts. Do you think there's any chance the Mets make the playoffs? I say like 5% chance, which is actually higher than Fangraphs has. But I'm going to say probably no. Do the Cardinals sell Nootbaar? I think so. Who would be a better fit for the Red Sox at shortstop? CJ Abrams, Neto, or Pena? Well, Abrams can't play defense. I think Pena would be the best of the lot. But they'll take any of those three. They'll take any of those three. But I think Pena would be the best. Is there anything David Stearns can do to save face with the Mets at this point? Yeah, I mean, dominate the trade deadline in the offseason and pull a Breslow. I would be in charge of a front office. I don't know about work for others. We'll see. When you were struggling, did it usually come down to a mechanic issue or a health issue? I'm sure you've dealt with your career. How many guys are usually pitching through something? Different. A little bit of both, depending on the year. A little bit of both. So, hard to say. But a lot of times it was mental, too. Don't discount this part. The cabeza is very important. Very important. Who do you believe is the best fit on being the next Mets manager? It's tough because like then you have to take Stearns into account. I don't think he's going to hire anybody with any pushback. So yeah, Beltran makes a lot of sense. Look for that to possibly happen. But I mean, shit, I would love to see like a Francisco Cervelli get a shot. He'd be a great up-and-coming manager. Daniel Descalzo. There's some good names in my mind, but I don't know. Thoughts on Frank the Tank for the manager? I mean, just launch him into the sun at this point. All right. Here's a good one. Did you get a lot of blisters on your fingers? Absolutely. Dealt with it a lot. Used to file my nails, get a fake nail put on to protect this nail from breaking. Pickle juice, different solutions to toughen the skin, all that sort of stuff. And then who's your favorite Dominican teammate? Oof. Man, I've had some gems over the years. Man. Juan Nicasio. Well, he might have been Venezuelan now that I think about it. Hold on. Dominican teammates. I mean, I love Rafi, Devers. Who else? Man, I've had so many good ones. The best Dominican teammates. Man, this is a tough question. I just love DR. I love being down there. When I was down there, I got to play with some legends, like the legend Jumbo Diaz. Hold on, I guess. Anyway, a lot of guys. I guess I didn't really answer that question, but tons of guys. Why do you think Garrett Cole Savannah's buns, K's, chase, whiff? It's just his fastball whiff, but that's going to all turn around because now he's getting more whiff again. So those numbers are going to normalize. Did you learn a lot of Spanish from those guys? Yes, my whole career learned a lot of Spanish. I wish I was better, but I did learn a lot of Spanish. I understand everything that they're telling me. I mean, I grew up in a Dominican world. I mean, the travel team I played on growing up for youth service with like Del Matanzas, Pedro Beato, then later Pedro Alvarez, like everybody spoke Spanish, so I've always understood Spanish. All right, have you seen Kumar Rocker in his last couple outings? He's been dominant leading on that slider death ball. Yeah, I've been thinking that he should be next because he pitched well yesterday. So he's a name to look into, and we've been just kind of kicking it all morning. So anyway, he's down now to a 4.03 ERA through 20 games, 18 starts, 102 innings. This is probably his best body of work in the big leagues, and really it's just lately he's been on a little bit of a roll. Game logs for Kumar Rocker, especially these last two starts. I know he got blown up in Houston, but if you take that away, which I know you can't, he did have a 5-2 against Miami and a 6-0 against Toronto. And then this 6-0 versus the White Sox, and then yesterday versus Seattle, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. So yeah, leaning on the death ball. I think his slider's a little bit of an outlier pitch, one of the better pitches. Certainly the best pitch he has, and a really good whiff-inducing pitch. What is he getting whiff rate on that pitch this season? For Mr. Rocker, he's got 41.6% whiff on his most used pitch, which is a very impressive thing to do. Yeah, 41.6% whiff rate on the slider, and they're only hitting 160 against it with the 244 slug. So this pitch has been really good. All right, who do we say he just faced? Seattle? Seattle Mariners and what team's he on? Texas Rangers. Deep in the heart of Texas, 88 pitches. Let's go, Kumar Rocker. We'll speed through your outing. All right, here he is. Cole Young is the first batter. Starts with a cutter. Now, for some reason, Texas had him throwing a crap load of cutters last season, and I have no idea why. I don't think it's a particularly great pitch. I think his slider is the pitch, but anyway, you see he comes out, a couple cutters here early, fly ball out to Nimmo, and now here is Julio. I think he wants to go cutter to slider. I think he wants to lead with cutter. That way he can go one direction like this with the sinker, or he can go the other direction off of the same tunnel with the slider. So I think the cutter is a bait pitch for Kumar. for the most part. And when in doubt, you're going to see him spam his slider. Now, this is a tough camera angle to really see the action on his death ball. But just know it's there. This pitch goes down quite a bit as it's got negative 3.3 avert, and he strikes out Team Paisan legend Dominic Canzone to end the first. All right, second inning. Here is Randy Arozarena. Also, the velo's been solid. Right around 95 here. Good location there on that sinker. Coming back with another one. So I mentioned before, like, two fastball shapes that are distinct and you have command of, combined with an outlier breaking ball. Any outlier breaking ball is a good combo. All right, so he gets clipped here with a backdoor sinker that leaks, I believe, over the middle. Randy's face is classic here. Yeah, he meant to throw this inside, ends up throwing it down and away. Great swing by Arozarena. 103-3 gone. And this is one of the runs he allows. Evan Carter gets smushed against the fence. Check out Randy's face here. We'll just take a picture of that. Randy's like, what's the deal? Is that a home run or what? Man, that chain is big on Randy's neck. Holy cow. How do you play with that thing? Is he going to still do a celebration around third? I bet he does. Oh, he's watching the replay while trotting. Oh, home run. Oh, yep, still celebration. Oh, yeah.
The crew got together.
This guy.
Discuss whether or not that was a home run. I'm really confused what the question would have been.
What a classic. All right, so he gets clipped there. What a Randy face. All right, cutter strike. I mentioned, he just wants to set the bait with that cutter as much as possible. Try to throw it back door a little bit to lefties, and then he's going to drop sliders whenever he can below zone. That's Kumar's effect. And notice, very few fastballs of the four-seam variety. I've only seen some sinkers, really. There's that death ball slider. Naylor can't hold up. See you later.
That's pretty typically a swing. Here's Rayleigh.
This camera angle stinks. Can't see nothing on this thing.
2-0 pitch. And that's one of the favorites, not just in the American League West. But
there's 96. That was a very hittable pitch. Got away with that one.
I feel like we have good hitters. We just have not.
I'm not going to lie. Some of his success in this game might have just been the Mariners. I haven't seen a lot of good pitching yet. I have not seen very much command yet. He did command a sinker in pretty good before and a couple breaking balls, but
178 average.
I don't know. Wondering when he gets it locked in here. There's a good sinker.
I mean, there haven't been a ton of 60 homer seasons.
I mean, that's a Yankopotamus. Slider coming here. That's a good pitch. And another one. Mitch Garver just browsing at that slider right down the middle. All right, Crawford. That's a good fastball. His fastball's got some plane to it, and he can throw it in the box.
What has happened to him?
Not at all. I think the expectation.
What makes this camera angle so bad? I mean, can't you just see it's just like so high you can't really see the up down of anything? Like, I can't see the break on that going down. That's negative vert, but it looks like it just kind of spun there. Gets away with that one. Didn't fool him, but beat him. All right, still rolling here. Slider can be nice if he can backdoor it. Sure. That's most guys. All right, back to the top of the order. Hey, I'm not seeing anything improved with Kumar here. I know he pitched well in this game. Got a little velo, and I see what his plan is to throw more sliders, and the cutter is a bait pitch, but if you're going to let people swing at that cutter like that pitch, they're going to hit it. All right, so he's got no outs, first and third here in the third for Julio. Let's see how it goes. Almost gives up a double, first pitch. Sinker incoming here. That's a good pitch. And then slider. That was a good pitch. It's going to get an out, but it's going to score the run. So Wyatt throws it into second, and that's the second run. That was actually a smart pitching, not necessarily worrying about the strikeouts so much because, you have a lead there. You just don't want to have a big inning here. Would that camera angle hurt the ability of the Rangers pitchers to see what to work on, or do you think they have another angle themselves? I'm curious about that myself. I wonder if they do have another angle. I saw Rizzo also talked about this camera angle once on the broadcast on Sunday night for NBC, and he said that he didn't like it to evaluate the pitch movements either when he was playing in Texas. So I think there's something to it. I know pretty universally guys don't like it. All right, here is a hard ground ball to second that turns into a double play. This was lucky. This pitch was right down the middle, but he does have good depth on his slider. So sometimes with him, it's like he's getting away with a lot of stuff because his slider has legitimately way above average movement. All right, hold on. We have to watch Randy Chuck like do a duck here. Ah! Randy's just pure comedy all day long. And I'm just not seeing any. I'm not seeing any consistency in terms of command. But he's getting away with some stuff because his slider's just got a really good shape to it. Like that. That was a good slider. That was really good. Nailer backdoor slider. I mean, like I said, once he wants to like really get you out, it's slider. Everything else is sort of just for show. Fastball pulled. Also a lot easier for a guy like Kumar to pitch with a big lead. He's just getting some favorable contact. He did keep that ball down and away pretty good. Fifth inning, Garber. Probably Globe Life would have the worst camera angle in the league. I'm with you. Best angle? I'll let you know when we see it, but there's some good ones. Tampa's pretty good. Milwaukee is extremely good. Boston's pretty good, if I recall. So there's some good ones out there, but I know the infrastructure of some of the ballparks don't allow. This was a good slider down. He's executed a little better mid-4th inning to now early 5th inning. Do you think that Chad Tracy will become full-time manager of the Red Sox? I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, his old man was my manager in Colorado. They've been playing well under him. A lot of young players. Wouldn't rule it out. If he drives well with Breslow, don't be surprised.
1-2.
All right, got that one down, but not really that low, and it works out. He had a pretty good 5th inning going here so far, though. Colt Emerson. That's a good slider. Another slider here. That's a hanger, but it gets taken. And then... Okay, that one was decent, but also you see he's getting a little fortunate with some of these batted balls. Nevertheless, I say the 5th inning was his best inning yet. Here's the 6th. As Skippy Shoe looks on. That fastball played. And he's maintained about 94, 95 for the most part. Julio again.
So need to push him. And leading by 5 at this point.
Sliders, like, if he could be a really good relief pitcher just spamming sliders. I guess this is better than that, but slider and sinker seem to be his best pitches, and righties he seems to be pretty good. Versus lefties, he's got to really command the fastball better. The backdoor slider and the slider down. I think the cutter's just a sitting duck pitch, but it's kind of useful for tunneling. I don't know. He's back end all day for me. Not a bad back end, but he's back end all day. I think what the production that the Rangers have gotten out of him this year is actually very useful. But I don't see anything special right now, to be honest. All right, here comes another strikeout. This is going to be a good slider down. See, when he gets the slider down, it's incredible. It's crazy to say it, but he's a 1.5 pitch pitcher.
Rocker's done a nice job with the backdoor slider to lefties for a strike.
Almost clipped him in the cap.
Oh, he's faced.
I mean, that ball's right down the middle. He got lucky. That wasn't a home run, to be honest.
Hoping Rocker can get them through 7 innings. Boy, would that
good pitch, good pitch.
Starting tomorrow's game.
That's low.
They have really kind of turned that old.
All right, it's going to be a 4-pitch walk.
We'll see what the Rangers
Always got to give credit for not having a lot of walks in an outing, which he didn't until there. All right, 7th batter here. Oh, another batter here, 8-pitch outing. Garver, 8-pitch at bat. That's a good pitch there. Now he's going to try to slider off of that. That was a good combo, but it didn't get chased, surprisingly. Going to go back in with the sinker. Good pitch. So he's located some sinkers really in on righties. That's been a
It's
plus.
hard to say how far over that railing it was.
Good pitch. No swing, though. Maybe a little too much slider. Guy's got a little used to it, maybe. Popped foul.
Leading again. The payoff. And
Another good pitch. And then slider. I thought he pitched pretty well this at-bat. Even though that's actually a hanger, you see it still messes him up. So that's it. That's it for the day, but I don't know. Kind of whatever. This is his numbers on the year. So on the aggregate, gets hit pretty hard. Does get a lot of chase. That's all that slider and the whiff, but he's still below average in strikeout rate. Walks are fine. It's just, it's back end. You could do a lot worse than him in the back end. All right, what else we got here? I've been saying he could be a super dominant reliever, let that fastball eat even more. One thing is he's gotten rocked in the first inning. Don't know how that translates. Yeah, we won't know until we try. But you don't know until you try. He doesn't seem like he pitches with his hair on fire, but I don't know. I mean, there's still a chance they could figure some more stuff out for him. Maybe if he could develop a second really good breaking ball, he could do like a little 2 breaking ball attack, and that could be a little different. But I don't know. Slider's great. Other than that, we got to work on some things, I still think. I play old man baseball and I throw a 4-seam 12-6 curve. What third pitch would you recommend? Probably. Oh, I was about to say this. Don't say changeup. I don't know. Maybe like a slider gyro pitch. Grip it on the horseshoe, along the horseshoe, and just throw it as hard as you can, right down the middle. You know what my thoughts are on Yordan Alvarez? Is that he's the best hitter in baseball. Best hitter in baseball. How sustainable is what the Red Sox are doing? I just think younger pitchers are slowing down. That was one of my concerns about the Red Sox down the stretch is, can these guys hold up? Sandoval being back helps. Hopefully they get Crochet back. That would go a long way, but whether it's sustainable or not, they're going to run through the finish line with these dudes. So, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Who do you think the Yankees can make a splash for at the deadline? I mean, if it was a splash, it would be something like a Hunter Goodman, Mason Miller, Morihone, Adrian Morihone would be a nice one. Those would be the splashes, but I don't think they'll make that. Do you think the D-backs trade Marte, Ketel? I'd be surprised still, despite some of the discourse around him. I'd still be pretty surprised. All right, pitchers from last night. Tolle could be maybe worth watching. Urania, Thornton, if people are interested in that. Kirby kind of had a tough go. Peterson, Hoerner, Bregman. We could watch the 2 4-hit games from the Cubs guys, Hoerner and Bregman, who have both kind of struggled. Let's do that. Let's do some Cubs stuff here. So they both get 4 hits last night, so we'll break them down one by one. Nico Hoerner, one of the best contact hitters in the game, 98%, 98th percentile. Whiff percentage. Um, 99th K, so he doesn't strike out. He puts the ball in play. He has been struggling with getting his walks. Was that better last year? No. So he's never been a great walk guy. It's actually an improvement. What's weird this year is this is probably a very similar profile to we had last year, but because of BABIP and maybe some other small factors. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot different here from 25 to 26. His actual raw numbers have really cratered. He's only hitting 254. He hit 297 last year, 317 on base, 345 last year. Slugging's down, therefore everything's down. OPS is down, but I still think this guy's super valuable, unbelievable defender up the middle. Who do the Cubs have that isn't a great defender? He's incredible. I mean, 95th percentile. He's a joke. He's a joke. Dansby's a joke. Bregman's a joke. PCA's a joke. They're a joke on defense. They're unbelievable. Anyway, love Nico. Let's look at his game log so I can tell you where he's been, because it's been interesting. He got off like gangbusters this year. 1,000 OPS in 1,000 OPS. No. 840 OPS in April. In 840 in April, and then after that it really plummeted. 546 in May, 575 in June, and now he's up to a 701 in July. Although, if you take a look, things are starting to turn around. He's got a little bit of a rally going here. 2 hits, 4 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, 1 hit, no hits, 1 hit, 1 hit, 2 hits, and 4 hits yesterday versus the arch rival St. Louis Cardinals. So let's go check that game out. As they beat the Cards last night, beat Libertor, and really just a ton of hits. So Nico, 4-hit game. Let's check it out. Automatic ball pitch timer, so he starts this at bat with a free 1-0 count, and then he's going to get a hit on a sinker. Not even a strike. Hits it where they ain't. Base hit to right. Leading off the inning. Setting the table. It's not sexy, but you know what it is? It's a base hit leading off the inning. Nice job. All right, next at bat. He's actually going to get out, so now we're going to skip to his third at bat. First pitch, ambush, sinker, infield in. Stays inside it enough to get it through the middle. And that's going to burn Mason Wynn and drive in 2. So here's the high home. There's the alignment. Dobbins, actually a good pitch by Dobbins. I think that's who this is. Yeah, Hunter Dobbins. Trying to go in with the sinker to get the ground ball, to with the infield in to maintain that runner on third, but Nico stays inside it. Super nice. And is able to scoot this ball right up the middle. Mason Wynn was there, but ultimately can't make the play. 2-run score. So 2 kind of ambushes for hits. Oh, there's my guy Jay. Here's his third at bat. Well, third hit. Best in the business right there. Sinker up and in, ball, sweeper away, ball. Here's a called strike, and then let's see what he gets a hit on. 4-seamer. Ooh. He's hit a ball away. He's hit a ball in. He's hit a ball up. And that's what you get with this type of swing, where there's literally no movement. Look at this. Look at this swing. I mean, he doesn't do really anything except just right here. That's him. That's the load. Anyway, this is the type of hitter that you don't want to face with guys in scoring position, because you know he's going to make contact. Anyway, nice swing there. That's the third hit of the day. Here comes the fourth hit of the day. Curveball ball and sweeper base knock. Oh, sweeper smashed. Homer. So you don't see a lot of that, but great swing there from Nico. Exit velocity guess. He hasn't hit the ball that hard, so I'm going to say 102. 97.3, so I gave him a little boost that he didn't deserve. But 93, backspun, home run to left. This is just a hang it, bang it. Sweeper down the middle from Hunter Dobbins. 4-hit day for Nico. Nice swing, bro. Oof. And he needed that. So, great game for Nico. Next up to look at is Mr. Bregman. I know that this has been a frustrating season for Bregman so far. The fans have been letting him know about it. He went 0 in the game I did on ESPN recently. He heard some boos from the crowd. This is the Bregman profile. It's sort of like Nico, but trying to do more damage, which lends itself to a little bit of a weirder batted ball profile where he's trying to pull everything all the time. But also a joke on defense. He's tremendous. He doesn't swing and miss. He does take his walks. He's a strike zone controller. Unfortunately, he's just a little guy, so all his power is dead to the pull side. He does have a couple weird oppo home runs this year that don't make sense. But he gets 4 hits last night. Here are the raw numbers right now. Definitely want these to go up higher. I saw he has a streak of being over 750 OPS, which is many seasons long, and it would be weird if he didn't keep that going. So anyway, right now he's hitting 241, 336, 369, 705 OPS, 11 homers. And let's watch Breggy's game from yesterday. 4-hit game. First at bat, first Libertor here.
32 trips to the plate.
Curveball ball.
Walks, man. They get the most walks in the National League.
Cutter strike.
Head-to-head the pitch. That floats in a strike.
Curveball, top shelf strike, and then slider. Let's see the mistake by Liberatore. Good job dropping the head on that. Obviously, you know, he wants the pull, puts it right down the line, so a little fortunate with the placement of the ground ball. Hustles into second. That's an RBI knock. This is more just getting rewarded for putting the ball in play. This isn't any type of special swing, but does a good job putting the ball in play and gets rewarded. All right, next at bat, first pitch, homer. Oh, this is one of the Oppo home runs. So this is extremely rare for Bregman. Extremely rare. And I actually thought him trying to be an Oppo power guy a couple years ago actually effed him up. I think he tried to do something that might have been impossible. And look, this is only 97 the other way. So this ball really flew last night. This is probably not a typical outcome for a 97-mile-an-hour ball to the opposite field. But you got to give credit where credit is due. He stayed on this ball nicely and smacked it. He's another one with a very simple load and flow here. I can't believe this ball got out. I can't believe he was able to do this. This is so not him. It's part of the reason why I didn't love the signing in a way for the Cubs, just because, you know, they don't have like a green monster in left or anything. Let's go look at his spray chart for his career for home runs. A couple pesky Pole Johnsons. So literally 4 to the opposite field last year. 24, there's 1 to the opposite field. 23, 0. 22, 2. 21, 0. 2020, 0. 2019, 3. 2018, 3. 2017, 3. 2016, 3. So it's about he's about maxed out on his opposite field power for the year, having hit 3. All right, next at bat, he's going to get a single.
His first full inning, we hope, in the fifth.
Slider strike.
5 and gave up a home run to Bregman.
Slider away.
It would be nice to be able to piggyback a game like this, depending on how it goes.
Sinker back door fouled off.
Pitching as a reliever tonight. Perfect world, you come back and win this game.
Fighting with 2 strikes here.
Yeah, there's so much planning that goes into it when you're running through a big.
See, that's what he does too. Doesn't chase that often. Fastball in, gets himself to 3-2, so a good at bat working back to full count, and then good job taking a single to right field. Honestly, what have we seen from him so far in this game? Really driving through the ball the other way. Him and Hoerner both. So impressive little approach if you want to get hits. There's a hit, and then he's going to get a double his last at bat. Man, Dobbins was in here for a while. 2 4-hit days for the Cubbies is it's a very good day. Very good day. Good day for the baby Bears. Ooh, a little late on that fastball. I don't know why he wouldn't go back to it. They go back to the sweeper and do him a favor. But because his energy's that way, he's able to get that dinky hit to right. Honestly, it's good hitting. He's not going to hit for power often over there. I know he hit the Oppo home run in this game, but if he could take his singles over there, guess what happens then? Then you have to pitch him a little more middle in. Now he can beat you to the spot, and then his game will reopen up. But yeah, been a little bit of a tough go. We'll see how he finishes. Hopefully he can finish with a flurry for the Cubs this season. Still good defense, still great clubhouse. Still good leadership. You're getting all that stuff, but yeah, you'd like a little more production considering what they're paying him. Did Dobbins go CG? No, Liberatore started the game, and then Dobbins kind of just kind of rode it out. Who thought Bregman would be a good fit in Wrigley? I agree. I mean, it just didn't look great, you know? What do you look at when you use Synergy? I mean, I mostly watch college prospects or college or high school prospects on Synergy just to watch video. I'm not really looking at a lot of the data that's on there. Thoughts on Sonny Gray? Love me some Sonny Gray. Very good pitcher. Who do you think's the next pitcher to throw a 20K game? Maybe one guy, maybe one obvious guy and one not obvious guy. I mean, the obvious guy would be Mizorowski, I would say. Just because you can envision him doing it. I would say Dylan Cease is another one who could maybe farm that type of game, or a Chris Sale. I mean, pretty hard to pull one out of your rear end, but those guys come to mind. Maybe even a Chase Burns. Those are probably the first names that come to mind. You on the Pirates Brewers ESPN assignment next week? I am, absolutely. Yeah, next week I have Giants Rangers from Arlington, and then I have Pirates Brewers from Milwaukee. 2 games in 3 days, so super excited for that. Ooh, Joe Ryan's not a horrible one, or McLean. I like you guys throwing these guys into the chat. It's not bad. Did you ever break down Franklin Arias? I haven't, but I do know that he got moved up to AAA for the Red Sox. He's the Red Sox top prospect now in AAA. 5'11", 170, 20 years old in AAA. That's a good sign. Anyway, 60 hit grade, 40 power grade, 40 run grade, 55 arm grade, 60 field grade. So you're looking at a contact hitting wizard defender mostly. 5'11", don't know if he'll grow into any power. Here are the numbers this year. Wow, between 2 teams, AA and AAA. He's only been in Worcester for 2 days, but between AA and AAA, 306, 396 on base. What? 570 slugs, a lot better than I expected to see. 966 OPS. He has 19 pumps this year, so maybe we need to pump the brakes on that lower power grade. Maybe he's got to be at least a 50 or 55 power grade. Could this guy be elite? Only 46 Ks as well on the season, 48 Ks on the season with 37 walks. Me likey that. Where is he in the top 100? How high up is my guy? 7th overall in baseball. 7th prospect in baseball. Interestingly, shortstop, outfield, pitcher, shortstop. So 4th highest rated shortstop behind Made, DeVries, Willits, who's come on super strong in his debut season. He's hitting 275 with 12 home runs and 19 doubles and a 897 OPS between both A levels as the first overall pick last year, with almost as many walks as strikeouts. That's why he's kind of ahead. But wow, you can't go wrong, I don't think, with any of these guys that are in the top 4 shortstops. Made, DeVries, Willits, and Franklin Arias. So pretty cool to see. I know he just got up there to AAA. Good question. Good guy to look at if we can ever get some good games. We could watch him a little bit on video. Sorry if I'm late, but what do you think of the Braves keeping Connor Thomason last night? Yeah, I mean, it sucks. This is the reality sometimes of baseball, though. You got to jump on the grenade for your teammates. It sucks, too, because you probably got optioned right away after that. But opportunities are hard to come by. Sometimes you have to be the wear it guy, and you have to find a way to make that your way to bust out of it. I feel bad for him. I do, and he wore it really hard. But that's just the reality of the game a little bit. Unfortunately, not much you can do about that. How do you think Strider will come back? Geez, I have no way of knowing that. He's been so hurt. He had one brief moment where his fastball looked better this year, shape-wise, but it hasn't been consistent. So if you're relying on Strider to be a savior, I wouldn't hold my breath. I'd be more holding my breath for Schwellenbach, but I don't know when he's coming back either. Are you with Monaco for both games? I actually don't know who I'm with yet. I hope it's Monaco. I mean, Boog would be great too, but I love Mike. I love them both. What else we got here? Do you think Joe Ryan could get traded to the Cubs? Yeah, sure, but I have no idea what the Twins are going to do. Pretty rough. Yeah, I think we should watch the Tolle start. You want to watch that next? All right, let's watch Tolle start from yesterday. Since we've been watching him a lot, and why not? Red Sox, they demand our attention a little bit. I'm going to pop this Savant page up here for Tolle real quick while I run to the bathroom. I'm just going to put you on mute, and then I'll come back and do this game. All right, we're back. All right, Payton Tolle, look at it. Looks amazing. I've consistently said the same thing. When he gets the right amount of rest and his fastball is fast, he's an absolute stud. Long term, man, it's so hard to project this guy because it's hard to say how he'll be, if he loses anything off of his fastball. But he has made big strides with the breaking ball. I'm curious to watch how he looked in this start in general. So let's go to the breakdown and everything from yesterday's start. Here was Tolle's overall numbers. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 2 home runs, 90 pitches. I do think the fact that he doesn't walk people that much is like just such a big deal because it would be easy for him to nibble a lot with his pitches besides his fastball. And 96 is always the benchmark for him, and that's what he averaged last night. So I'm sure the fastball played. 36 heaters, 25 cutters, 19 sinkers. So he's going with the 3 fastball Schlittler attack. 5 curveballs, 5 changeups. I do think even more than Cam, he's going to need those off-speed pitches to become a big part of the arsenal moving forward. Because the velo on his cutter is 88, 89. It's not 94, 95, so it's not quite an outlier, although it's a good pitch. It's a little bit more of a hybrid cutter slider, if we're being honest. But being a lefty, he might have a little more protection because righty hitters are different than lefty hitters. Anyway, 31% whiff. Did get 40% whiff on that cutter. Came back from a lot of non-optimal counts, 55% first pitch strike, but only allowed 3 hard hits. So let's not sugarcoat it. This guy's just really hard to hit. His fastball in particular, really hard to hit. And he's just got a great personality, and I kind of love him, and I wish he would come on the show. And we'll work towards that at some point. All right, here he is, Payton Tolle, the mustache bandit, in this start versus the A's. Fastball up and away. Ooh, little ambush attempt way above the zone. And he's off on both of those first fastballs.
1-2 pitch. That's chopped fair up the third base side. Durbin, a 1-hop throw.
Ooh, nice footwork here by Contreras. Durbin with the bounce pass. This is that cutter, by the way. Pretty good pitch. Gets him to chop it. But Durbin with the bounce pass on purpose. 1-hopper and great footwork by Contreras. Red Sox are clicking. This is what mid-season form looks like. All right, sinker to Soderstrom. I've been watching a ton of at-bats versus Soderstrom the last few years, like last year or two. And this is a very typical approach. This is actually amazing. This is a Sacramento home run, I would guess. Yeah, 99.7 to the Oppo field at 39. But every lefty tries to pitch him in off the plate with sinkers. Like they try to literally get into here because he can't stop swinging at it. That's what Tolle tries to do here, first pitch. But he leaves it a little middle, and, you got to give credit to Soderstrom with a pretty damn good swing here, to be honest with you. Kind of somehow gets on top of this ball, stays super flat, and pops it out to left. I can't wait till one day on those metrics, all these attack angles and bat speed stuff actually comes up, and then I can show you pitch by pitch how hitters are changing their swings. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We've been working on it. Anyway, home run there. So, 2 batters in. We got an out and a homer. Here's Jonaheim.
Chris, believe it or not, lefties have a little more success against Tolle.
Fastball up and away, swing through, cutter, chopped away, and then frozen rope to the bottom. So 3-pitch punchy there. Four seam in, fouled off. This is Thomas. That should have been a strike, doesn't get it. Another good take, although they call that a swing. Bad call there, in my opinion. That's a middle cutter. That's a poor location, and he pays for it with a base hit. Up and away.
Road game was a 4-hit night in Phoenix. And he's ahead.
Right, let him continue to adapt to the league.
How is that a good swing? He took an inside pitch oppo. I don't know. Do you like home runs? I like home runs.
3-1 pitch.
Ground ball, double play ball. Oh, this was Tommy Tanks? Tommy Tanks in the flesh. I didn't even realize this whole at-bat. Anyway, he gets beat by this fastball pretty good. Tommy Tanks has got a lot of load going on. Check out this load. Super wide. I mean, it's honestly, it's not that complicated of a swing, but that load, it's very rhythmic. Anyway, that's Tommy Tanks. Second inning.
Time flies.
The squirrel, Jeff McNeil. Looks like he just got a haircut. Happy haircut, Jeff. Four-seam up, swing up. Nope, actually looks like shit. Oh, there it is. What a squirrely hit. This is why you don't shift on the squirrel. He loves this stuff. Oh, the squirrel. What a back control beast. I wish you could do that all the time. Still, that would be sick. So, leadoff hit. Good approach there by the squirrel. Here comes Bolte.
13 games, 3 for 37. Swing and a miss, a cutter.
Yeah, we're getting there.
1 and 2.
Hey, pause, Juice Sigma. Pause on that. Big pause on that. Get your head out of the gutter, sir.
That has been part of the difference. That alley starting to work his way more towards straight up now.
Cutter down. And cutter again.
2-2 pitch.
That kind of played.
Monasterio gathers, flips to second over to first.
Look at Tolle trying to direct traffic out here. I wonder if we can see that. Yeah. This guy's a beauty. He's just pointing. Who has more fun pitching than Payton Tolle? God, I love this man. What a tremendous personality. All right, next up, Williams. Cutter in. Sinker ball.
That is a fascinating thing to see you break down pitchers. The 1-1.
Four-seam in. Doesn't have quite the command that I'm used to seeing out of him. But again, his fastball's so hard to hit. Cutter in, bloop to left. Got himself in trouble a little bit in this inning. I'm assuming at some point he starts rolling with some good command. All right, here's Lawrence Butler. Cutter away ball. Nice pitch.
Butler first and second. The A's already up 1-0. Bolte's going to break for third.
Hit the dang like button, people. Listen to Victoria. She's very wise. She knows what's going on here. We need some algorithm boosting. We need to get to 12,000 subs. Come on, you guys, help me out. Oh, wow. Sinker in on the knuckles blows up Lawrence Butler, and that's the end of the second. So, pitches through some stuff there in the second. All you got to do is hit that thumbs up. That's all I'm asking. I'm out here pumping out no ad live streams for you guys on multi-platforms. I appreciate all the love, but throw me some likes. Change up away ball.
Very big test for the A's. They ended up ultimately winning that series. 2-1 pitch.
Man, Wilson being a little undisciplined early on in this game. Spoils that fastball. Here is the curveball.
2-2 pitch.
That was a little better execution. Here's the changeup, which I've always liked the shape of his changeup, but my sense is that he can't execute it. This one did the trick, though. Got him out front and a little reach and snap over the top rollover with the barrel for Jacob Wilson. Nice play at short. That's one out. Here's Soderstrom. Remember, he homered on the leaky sinker back to the middle. The first time, I would think they would just work him away now. Tried that early, but they're both balls. There's a swing and miss. Cutter in ball.
Has a hit in every single game since play started back up.
That was a defensive half swing, and then he's going to walk him. So Soderstrom with 2 productive at-bats, home run and a walk. Tolle's fastball command, not there in this start yet. I'll take that one, though. I'd rather him be more middle with his super good fastball than trying to be too edgy. Fastball in, that's what you get when you're 0-1. Then you get people swinging off the plate. Now you go cutter in off of that. Yeah, that was a much better sequence, and Heim's gotten totally dominated by Tolle first 2 at-bats. All right, Thomas. Sinker up and away, weird chase, four-seam. That's a good take. Sinker coming here. I would stick with that up and away if he's going to miss it. They're going back to the 4. Foul ball. And then cutter strikeout to end the 3rd. Happy accident backdoor cutter. Okay. Kind of getting away with some bad locations in my opinion. Tommy Tanks. First pitch cutter gets him to really roll over that. Another bounce throw and another great footwork by Contreras. Man, look at Contreras' footwork over here. This guy's a really good first baseman. Comes off the back to create more space for him. That was a pull hole move. Very good move there by Wilson. 1 out. All right, the squirrel. Did they change their alignment? No, they kept it the same. So cutter away ball, sinker. Try to get him to pull it. Instead, he pops it up in foul territory. That's going to be a bat smash helmet toss. Here comes the putter toss. All right, 2 outs. Bolte. Change up ball, 4-seam. Where's the baseball and coffee hat? I wasn't really rocking it, but I can pull one out if you'd like. Should we go navy? Should we go royal blue? This one is the ugliest one I've ever made, but we can go royal blue for a little bit. Ugliest one I've ever made, in my opinion. What happened on this play? I wasn't watching. Blue Jays blue. Fastball in, jam sandwich, bad play. That was actually a good pitch, bad result.
The front office for the Athletics have done a nice job of.
Four-seam down.
Looking to make your team better through different avenues.
When you used to come out and pitch, you looked mad. Were you trying to intimidate the hitter? No. No. I used to always just like look down a lot and then look at my catcher. I like to just be in my little zone. But I definitely had a hard time smiling out there. I wish I could have been more like a Payton Tolle. There's the good fastball up. This is what he tries to do all the time with count leverage, is just rip this perfect heater up in the zone that's unhittable. So there we go. Finishes the 4th inning with a plum. Sinker strike to Lawrence Butler. Appreciate you following me. Oh, I heard about a really good at-bat between Reynolds maybe and somebody. Mitch Keller maybe? Mitch Keller and somebody, maybe it was Ketel Marte, Mitch Keller at bat. We already showed the Grand Slam earlier on the stream, actually, because I wanted to shout out Mike Monaco's call of it. Sinker in, fouled off. This has been a good battle by Butler, but I think he's about to go down. Get that heater up. Yep, see you later. So that much better the last couple batters for Tolle.
So Simba and Moon, Wilson will line that foul just left.
No, this is my own coffee beans. The bag is CER, but my cup is from Briarmere Farms, which has the best pies on Long Island, if you're interested. Briarmere Farms in Riverhead. Best pies in Long Island. 20 to 80 scouting scale, they were actually legit 80. I don't give out 80s very often. All right, cutter, happy accident there. So he's gotten some happy accidents with that cutter, no doubt. And now here's Soderstrom, who had the best at-bat so far. Drops in a dumper there. First pitch dumper curveball. Sinker in. That's the spot with Sody. This time he doesn't swing. Now they go back to away, I assume. Pulls it off the plate.
Now 13 for 36 in the 10 games.
Cutter away ball. Ooh, is there a Chapman versus Kurtz? Okay. Four-seam down. Oof. Nice pitch on 3-1, and now 3-2 sinker. Let's see if this is way in. Oh, it's actually away. Chops it to Monasterio. Inning over. Clean 5th inning. 6th inning now. Ooh, sinker strike. Change up off of that. No. I don't think he has any feel for his changeup. It's really just execution rate with the changeup. He's got good pitch. It's got good shape to it, in my opinion, but can't really execute it that good. There's a home run. So gotten himself into a bad count and makes a mistake down with the 4-seam, and Heim, who gotten absolutely dominated the first 2 at-bats, gets payback here. 103.4 at 26. This is just right into the honey hole. Down in, fastball and a fastball count. Kaboom. But you're pitching with the lead. Easy to move past that. All right, next up, Thomas.
Breaking ball is popped up. It will.
If I'm an average angle, I throw a sinker, curveball, and changeup. Should I switch to sidearm? I have no idea. Are you effective at what you're doing or not?
1-2 pitch. He'll
Sidearm, though,
fastball.
can play, but, you know, it's also not that easy to just switch to sidearm and everything's good.
I should say.
All right, here's an encouraging sign. 97 in the 6th. Little angry fastball to end his outing there. So what do I think about Tolle? I thought he pitched a lot better from like maybe the middle of the 4th inning on. Not his best outing in the world. Still showing really no feel for curveball or changeup with consistency. Even the cutter, I don't think he has great command of it. But, you know, the 3 fastball approach does work. He's still, at this point, basically pitching at an elite level. So they'll keep riding. Curious to see how he keeps going. And we'll find out. All right. Also from this game, somebody said Chapman versus Kurtz. 10 pitch at bat. Let's do it. Chapman versus Kurtz. The Cuban Missile versus Big Amish. All right, game's on the line here, by the way, just to set the stage. We have man on first. Kurtz is the tying run at the plate. He's one of the top 7 hitters in baseball, probably. Chapman, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 closers in baseball. And that's 99 painted up and away first pitch. All right, now we get into it. Slider coming.
That's a slider low and away.
Nowhere close. That's a ball.
1-1 pitch.
Fastball up and in. Swing through. Man, Kurtz really went for the downs on this one.
1-1 pitch.
I'm a little surprised he didn't hit that. But this ball does sneak over the barrel. Kurtz with a little bit of an overswing there. 1-2 count. Time to battle. Sinker coming here. Watch your face. 2-2. Slider off that.
2-2 pitch. It's in.
Good take. It almost worked, though. 3-2 now. Here we go. 4-seam challenge coming. Great location for Chappie. Not his usual velo, though, oddly, on that pitch. Now sinker to the same location. And we'll do it again.
3-2 once more from Chapman.
Ooh, kind of a hanging slider, but that sinker up and in helped protect that. 97-7. Now that was probably the best pitch of this sequence in a while. And now slider. So 10 pitch at bat. Really good battle. Kurtz was on the fastball clearly because he was a little off timing, and then an error by, I think that's Siegler, right? So he gets on. Good battle, fun to watch. Kurtz hung in there. I don't think Chapman had his best stuff though, right? What was Chappie's velo yesterday? Average 96.4. Surprisingly, that's only 0.5 down. See, a lot of people are like, how does Chapman throw 100 forever? He touches 100 forever, but he doesn't sit 100 forever. He utilizes lower speed occasionally. So, I don't know. Good battle there. Good battle there. All right, what else we got here? Oh, yeah, Mitch Keller and Marte. I was encouraged to watch an at-bat between Mitch Keller and Marte. So let's head over to Pirates D-backs. Keller versus Marte. I think it was 6th inning somebody requested. Eight pitch at bat. Let's see the stage. So it's tied at 0. Ooh, this was a huge at bat in the game. Tied at 0, 2 on, 1 out. Ketel Marte versus Mitch Keller. Let's watch them battle. All right, first pitch combo called strike. I love changeups to Marte, by the way. Changeups usually been a good pitch to him. Fastball in, strike. Marte did not love that he didn't swing at this, but it does hang on the corner. Good catch by, I believe it's Henry Davis, but that's going to be 0-2. So Keller jumps ahead 0-2 after this pitch right here. And let's see what they go to now. First pitch, first attempt changeup, good location, good take. I think down freeze is available after this take. Marte gives a little bit with the legs, but not enough. So I think down freeze, down and away fastball would have been a good pitch here. Although I'd still probably try to make him chase another one down to double reinforce. Let's see what they do. They go sweeper. Oh, just misses the freeze, but that did not make it. Change up again. This time he gets the chase, but Ketel does a good job spoiling. Now they're going to try to go fastball, probably up. Middle. Very much a bad pitch here. Only thing I think that saved him here was just the timing being a little off, but Ketel Marte tried to hit this ball across the Allegheny. My goodness. All right, another fastball. Get it up, Mitch. He does. Fouls it off. And that's going to lead us to the sweeper. Oh, caps it. And it's an infield hit. That stinks. Had him fooled a little bit, but ends up being a brutal hit. I don't know. I felt like he had down freeze available, but he also got away with a few pitches. I think Marte did a good job with some takes and some spoils, but ultimately it's a lucky batted ball. So I don't even know who to credit or not credit on this at bat. What happened after this? Did a run come in? Let's see. Oh, the cheater, Max Kepler. Oh, you don't deserve that luck. Should have hit into a double play, cheater. That's going to be a bases clearing double, though. Or at least drives in 2. That stinks for Keller. Tough go, Keller. Tough go right there. All right, back to the chatty chat. What else we got here? Did he not do steroids? Pretty sure he was suspended for the beginning of the year. What's a stat that you really like and one stat that may be underrated and not as much? I mean, I'm really into like process stuff like race to 2 strikes, which is not something you see a lot, which is how often you get to 2 strikes before 2 balls. I think that's huge. Also big on called strike plus whiff percentage, because sometimes guys have great called strike ability as well. Chappie has not been throwing the 4-seam like he has in the past. I wonder if it'll come back around. At some point, he usually finds a way to have it. I didn't watch Zac Thornton yet. I've seen a lot of Zac Thornton requests, so it's making me want to watch his outing. So I think we probably will. Do you ever think about the game you blew to 2016 to the Dodgers? Is that the Oppo Grand Slam Andrew Tolles game? Yeah, I think about it sometimes. I do. Because I had just come off my 37-game scoreless streak. I had just lost the streak to the... We'll look at Thornton after this Ottavino retrospective, because, you know, people love to ask me about my worst games. It's like as if it's going to insult me. It's fine. Let's pull myself up here and let's go find a little something. 2016 Rockies Ottavino had a 2.67 coming back off Tommy John in 34 games. And really, it would have been a lot better if it wasn't for this outing that's being spoken about right now. So let's see here. Season 2016 stat type game log. Gotta go back to 2016 again. 2016. Here it is. LA Dodgers 5 runs. So I mentioned I had been on a good roll. As you see, it's all zeros. I gave up no runs in July. And I hadn't given up any runs in August until August 27th when I gave up 1 in an inning and a third versus Washington to push my ERA to a .51. Jason Worthless with a freaking bloop hit off of me. Freaking guy got my ass. Anyway, then we got to the Dodger game, and this was an all-time bad game. This was the second game of a doubleheader. We had won the first game of the doubleheader, and then look at disaster striking at the end of the game. 3 in the 8th and 5 in the 9th to beat me. Well, to beat us, I should say. Let's see the play-by-play of me in the 9th. It always starts with a walk, doesn't it? Ottavino walks Corey Seager. This is also my delivery was starting to get really out of whack with my cross body. So a walk to Corey Seager. That's how it always starts. A strikeout to Justin Turner. Little backdoor sinker. So there's one punchy right there. That's 1 out. Then Adrian Gonzalez's line out. So I had 2 outs and 1 on and then gave up 5 runs in this inning. That's a nightmare. This was a line drive right at Christian Adames. Do we have high home on this? 104-mile-an-hour line drive right at Adames that he just kind of traps. So we don't get a double play. This could have been a double play ball, but instead it's just 1 out and the game continues. 2 outs, man on first, and then watch this shit. Corey Seager advances to second on a defensive indifference because, yeah, who cares? Grandal up there. We didn't even try to stop him because who cares? Then what else we got? Yasmani Grandal singles. Let's see the single I give up. 3-1 count, so that's on me. Little looper to left. First and third, still no runs in. Josh Reddick single. This one I think was tough. I think this one could have been an out with a normal alignment. Yeah, weak grounder, but we're playing the stupid shift. So Adames is playing basically second base, and that continues the inning. So even though I jammed the piss out of Josh Reddick here, he's rewarded with a hit. Man, you got to love mid-2010s baseball where we just had insane shifts and weird stuff happen. Anyway, good job by Reddick going to the hole there. Then I go ahead and walk Peterson because why not? Probably didn't want to give in 3-1 to a lefty who can take me deep. And then that leads us to the Andrew Tolles grand slam. Oppo grand slam. Just wanted to die on the mound right here. First row, Oppo grand slam. You're going to see Dave Roberts is like falling down in the dugout with happiness if they show him. Yeah. Look at Dave. Oh, yeah. And obviously my reaction's pretty good here too. This is a classic Ottavino, what just happened reaction. I'll take a picture of that. So yeah, I think about it sometimes. It doesn't qualify as one of my worst 3 games, but it's definitely up there. Probably in the top 5 worst games of all time. So, there you go. Did that feel better? Do you think fondly of your time in Colorado? Yes, I consider myself a Rocky, for sure. Otto, you had 2 hits in MLB. Do you remember who they were off? Yes, left-handed off of Kyle Loesch, right-handed off of Zach Duke. Beast. Beast. All right, Zac Thornton time. He is next. Yeah, I kind of owned Harper, to be honest with you. All right. It is time for Zac Thornton. He pitched last night for the Metropolitanos. He's been on a pretty good run. ZAC, Zac Thornton. 5 starts, 2.43 ERA, 29 2/3, 22 strikeouts. We watched his last outing, and I said I do think he's gotten a bit lucky overall. So let's see what he looked like last night. Here was his final line versus the Bravos, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk. Love 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run, 81 pitches. So very efficient. Let's look at the player breakdown. 31 cutters, 21 fastballs, 17 sweepers, 6 sinkers, 4 changeups, 1 unknown, and 1 curveball. Not a lot of whiffiness. Did fine with first pitch strikes. Did give up 12 hard hit balls. That was a theme the last time too. So let's check it out. Braves, Mets. Braves and Mets. Zac Thornton, ZAC, Zac. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back, and he led off this game for the Braves. All right, cutter strike. Now, for me, the Mets camera angle is a little bit too offset as well to the right, so now it's harder to see east-west a little bit, but I'd still take this over Texas. Cutter, fastball up. I do think Thornton, remember his cutter's really 2 pitches. It's a cutter and it's a slider. That was more slider.
3 home runs career.
Fastball up and in, ball. This is a good one. Ayo, was there anybody you faced or that you thought was going to be a star in the minors but never panned out? Yeah, there's a few that come to mind. There was a catcher for the Rangers, Max Ramirez, who was a monster in Double-A. He played on the same team as Elvis Andrus and Chris Davis, and maybe Mitch Moreland at the time. Max Ramirez was a huge prospect catcher, and he was a beast at the plate. I thought he was going to be a star. That did not happen as Acuna lines that sinker up the middle. Hard hit, 108. Another good one would be... Man, he got in trouble right away. Cutter away, Drake Baldwin, line drive to left. Man, there's somebody else. Oh, some guy on my own team, Jess Todd, was a big pitching prospect for the Cardinals, who was essentially a freaking goat in Double-A. Got called up quick, but I bet you he didn't even make it to 1 year service time, which is crazy because he was that dominant in Double-A, but I guess Double-A is not the big leagues. All right, 1-1 cutter here to Olsen. I believe he gets 2 outs here. And a very lucky 2 outs, right? Off the end, very nice play by Jared Young to be able to convert that into a double play. All right, maybe not hit that hard, but 79 off the end of the bat. So I'm actually going to give credit to Thornton here for a really good pitch. Runs off the end, great play on defense, double play, great throw by Cole Young, great return throw by Lindor, and that was huge. They could have had a big inning right off the rip, but now they have 1 man on and 2 outs for Ozzie.
Interesting how he holds his bat.
Cutter in, fouled off. I'm trying to think other names, other answers to the names on that minor league side of things. Man. That's a tough question. 0-2 changeup here. App is called Dugout app. It's a private app. What are your thoughts on who the Red Sox should try to acquire? Shortstop. Another guy with power, maybe another reliever to supplement. I do worry a little bit about Whitlock, Chapman, Slayton, Weissert, and them like not having enough, and Guerrero. Like they could use another. They could use another. All right, so this is going to be an infield hit that's going to score the run. Catcher could be good for the Sox too. If they can big game hunt like a Hunter Goodman would be money. I mean, a good effort here by Lindor. Actually, a really great effort, but just runs out of time a little bit. So that drives in the first run, and here's Michael Harris. Yeah, I mean, he probably would be, but then again, you got to think you'll have him for like 4 years, and the guy rakes. So I don't know. What do you think was your absolute prime? I actually think I had 3 primes. I think 2013 through 2016, but really 2015, 2016, like really the beginning of 2015 before my Tommy John, that might be the nastiest the best I ever was. Then I would say 2018, 2019, and then 2022 was kind of an outlier, one-off year, but that was really good too. All right, great pitch there to strike out Harris on that cutter.
Grab yours while they face the Braves and the Marlins.
Second inning coming up here, and we are missing pitches because it was raining or something. All right, 2-0 to Dubon. Fastball coming here. Get some... Dubon just wants to swing. It's crazy. Ooh. That could have been a home run. Kind of a weird one here. And it almost was a home run. Tyrone makes the adjustment, makes the catch. All right, here's Austin Riley, who I've been shocked at how much he's fallen off. Fastball strike, changeup, pulls it in a little bit, not a bad pitch. Cutter coming here. Nope. Sweeper coming off of that.
I hated that.
How were you still getting so many Ks so late in your career? I would say that's just knowing what I'm doing out there. It's not necessarily a stuff thing. I struck most of my guys, not most, but I struck a huge percentage out of my guys looking. So that's just all cabeza. There's a happy accident, backdoor breaking ball. Speaking of strikeouts looking. 2 outs now. And here is Joey Bart. Better call Tyrone. Somebody's going to get him. Somebody's going to get him. Sweeper strike. Here comes another sweeper. Ooh, tilted that one downhill. -5. Did these two have different movements? Yeah, this one's only 0.5 vertical break, and then the next one he gets more on top of it. So one thing that I've been a little bit impressed with Zack so far is his ability to manipulate both of his breaking pitches. So his cutter can be a flat cutter, it can also be a downer slider. His sweeper can be flatter, it can also be more downer. So I like that. A little variety in your breaking ball means it's useful in different situations. All right, third inning. Facing Jarvis. Do you think you'd return to a team? No, I'm cooked. I'm cooked pitching-wise. Ground ball to second, one out there.
The problem was Thornton literally couldn't do it. He kept throwing strikes.
Here is Acuna for the second time. He made a mistake to Acuna and cost him the first at-bat. There's a cutter, gets in a little, I guess. Fouled off, and then a four-seam up for the punchy. Yeah, nice sequence right there. Very nice. Very nice sequence. All right, Drake Baldwin. Sinker strike. Okay, getting a little rhythm here. Sinker strike, four-seam up. Four-seam middle, but rolled right to second. Semien is there. Very efficient third inning. Fourth inning coming here. Four-seam up. Do you think the Pirates bullpen have a chance, or do they need new arms? I think they could use a few more, to be honest. I mean, if they're going to play a lot of close games, might decide their fate. So think about it like that. 2-0 cutter, get me over to Olsen. Four-seam away ball, and he's going to walk Olsen. So leadoff walk in the fourth. Obviously, that's not a great fundamental, but it happens. Albies. Cutter backdoor fouled off. Curveball. Here's our first curveball. Nope. Sinka. Do you think Clay Holmes gets extended or traded? Sadly, I think traded. I feel like they could get it done with him for like 3 for $70 or more. But I think on the market, there's the home run by Albies. We'll watch this more in a second. But I think the market, on the free agent market, Clay Holmes might get $100 million. So I think the Mets are messing up here a little bit, not extending him when they could probably get him for 70-ish. But I don't know. All right. Predictable heater and a predictable heater count. Ozzy just jumps this one. He does get it up and away, but, you know, 90.9 miles an hour. Decent shape and everything, but good swing by Ozzy. Thornton's going to be vulnerable with batted ball. Like, his stuff is below average. So he's going to have to locate pitch with tempo. A lot of things he has been doing, but this is going to happen sometimes. So very poor fourth inning start off. Walk of Olsen, which you can't do, and then gets in a poor count to Albies. So let's see if he gets back on the horse and starts pitching better here. Cutter down and away, generous strike. Oh, so to answer your question, I think Holmes gets traded. I do. I think he's going to get traded. All right, 0-2 count. Goes to the sweeper. Going to give it up, though. And good pitch. Better swing by Harris. Very good swing by Harris. All right, here's Dubon. Dubon is diving away from the plate, falling away from the plate every time. Very strange. He doesn't look like he wants to hit at all, so you just throw him away. Infield pop-up. Can Corn. And here is O'Reilly. Sweeper, good take. Four-seam coming here. Ooh, this should be two. Bichette. Semien. Young double play. Nice double play there. Good location on that fastball into Riley. All right, inning number 5, Joey Bart. Sweeper, good pitch, and changeup. Oh, Mike Breen. Bang! All right, base hit up the middle on the changeup. Honestly, pretty weak ground ball. I know he hit it 105, but that could have been an out if it was at somebody, so no problem with that. Good job. Good for Joey. Cutter middle, decent contact lined out to Lubob. We'll take that. Ronald Acuna, so third time through. Cutter off your shin. Fastball here. That's a good location. He's pitched well to Ronald the last 2 at-bats, so 0-2. Trying to make his cutter like a slider there. Doesn't get it to location, fouled off. Try to do it again. All right, overcorrects. And now four-seam up. Great location in. That was dotted in, and that should be 2. We know Ronald's not going to run hard, so easy play there. Look at this location. This is perfection. I give him credit, man. He can make some really good locations in on righties with that fastball at times. And he's gotten 2 clutch double plays in this game. All right, 6th inning, Drake Baldwin. Generous strike 1. Sweeper ball. Oh, big Bras warming up. I have a feeling he's going to get traded too. Really good sweeper there. Baldwin can't hang on to that one. Cutter ball, and ooh, no tarps. Tarps off at Shea. And a good cutter location there. Baldwin pulls off that, rolls over that. Matt Olson. So he's got double play and walk to Olson. If they challenge that, that's going to be ball one. That was the unknown pitch. Looked like that was a curveball or slider. All right, dots a cutter away, 1-1. Sweeper off of that. Good take by Olson. Four seam coming. Should go up in here if they're smart. We're down and away, but he misses. 3-1. 3-1 cutter here. Cutter fouled off. And 3-2 heater. It's probably down or away. Yeah, just painted on the corner. Olson wants the challenge, but he would have been wrong. That ball shaved the corner. He's got a knack for making the huge pitch, like with 2 strikes a lot, or like at the big moment. Like, that's just perfectly dotted. He shows no ability to do that, and then he just does it. So, nice job there to punch out Olson. Albies, first pitch sweeper lined right to Tyrone. So a quick out there. That allows him to keep going. 7th inning. After this Lexus amazing experience. Cutter up and away ball. Cutter coming again. Ooh, gets him to chop it. Easy play. He's definitely been way more in rhythm, I'd say, lately. And that's how his outing's going to end. It's more of the same. I like the fact that he's got a pretty good walk rate. I do think that that's the biggest thing. He's not going to beat himself often out there. He's going to get ahead in a lot of counts. He's going to generate some chase. He has the ability to shape both breaking balls. I do think at some point he's going to give up a lot of hits, probably in some stretches. And my big concern is, will he be able to strike his way out of things? Probably not. So I don't think he has a high ceiling, but I think he's got a high floor. I think he's like a nice 4 or 5 starter with some improvement. Maybe he could get up to a 3 level, but to me, that's kind of where I'd cap him based on what I've seen so far. Still like him, though. I like the way he goes about it. Definitely has a high level of compete. And I'm in on that. In your opinion, who are the optimal, realistic trade targets for the Cubs? So it's pitching, and more pitching. If I were them, maybe I'd go talk to the Mets. You could package a few guys together. You could go like Holmes, Raley, Brazaban, or something like that, or even Minter. You could go 2 or 3 pitchers in one shot would be good. I think that's a good target. I think maybe Sandy, now that he's available. I mean, you put a contact pitcher in front of that defense that could really play. I think that would be nice. Shane Bieber, but like, again, like they could also want to hunt a little more velocity, so not sure. I'm not as big a fan of the Robbie Ray idea right now, but you put the right guy on that team, like even a Luis Castillo, I could see it going well. Good morning, Adam. We talked about it in the Discord last night, but what do you think of Zazueta in the small clip you watched? 4-seam is so unique. Yeah, we did talk about this briefly in the Discord last night. Was he in the what to watch section? Where's my what to watch section? Or was he a little further back? I passed out last night, so I have no idea the timing of this. I don't think I've gone too far back. Where's my what to watch section? Oh, maybe it's on stream things. What to watch. Or maybe he's in the prospects section. I know I'm not looking at anything here now. Scouting and prospects. Here he is, Christian Zazueta. So they were saying that this guy's got a little bit of a Joe Ryan type of situation going on. And this is a small clip, but his fastball seems like it's on an absolute frozen rope when he throws the heater. This is a guy coming with the Dodgers. He's got a little bit of a Colin Holderman, like, trunk position coming through, but look at that ball run back to the corner. Doors. Yeah, I mean, the fastball looks electric. I mean, for the drillers. Where does he rate for for Dodgers prospects? Number 6 at AA, 21 years old. Let's see what it says here about him first. Originally signed for the Yankees out of Mexico, $110,000 in 2022. Dodgers picked him up with Matt Gage when they got Caleb Ferguson. Wow. These under-the-radar Dodger trades are crazy. Here's his stats for the year. Actually, hold on. That's not enough. 60 fastball grade is big. 60 changeup grade is good. Actually, he's got good grades on everything. Touches 97, flat approach angle, plenty of carry and arm side run. Changeup is 83-85. It has good fade and sink. He has a couple versions of his slider. Here are the stats on the year between two teams now, single A and double A. He's started 15 games. He's pitched about 70 innings. He's punched 100 and only walked 14. So that's tremendous. 197 opposing batting average. So don't be surprised if you see this guy by next year. He's definitely climbing. He's now the Dodgers' top pitching prospect. Holy cow. Passes River Ryan, Christian Zazueta, the Mexican. And you know they'll love him in Dodger Stadium being Mexican for sure. So that's pretty amazing. All right, that was cool. Watched him for a second. Fastball looks pretty good. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't looking in here, but we found it eventually. Yeah, 100 Ks and 69 2/3. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. It's been a good stream. It's been fun. We'll be back tomorrow and really all week. There was that game that somebody wanted me to play. I don't think I'll be able to do it today, but let's keep that in mind for the next time that we're kind of spinning our tires with what to watch. Please come over to YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. I promise you it'll be worth your while. Plenty of stuff coming down the hatch, but really appreciate everybody on both TikTok and YouTube. Who have subscribed, who have followed, who have commented, who have participated in this chat. It makes it fun for me, and I love doing it. So really appreciate you guys and interacting with you guys. You guys are legit. All right, here are the probables for today, Tuesday, July 28th. This first game is coming up in about an hour and change. Slade Ciccone, Chase Burns from Cincinnati. They have a doubleheader today, and Gavin Williams is going to start the second game for the Guardians. TBA for the Reds. Orioles, Tigers, Kramer, and one of my new favorites, Troy Melton. Diamondbacks, Pirates, Brandon Pfaadt and Bubba Chandler. Rangers, Rays, TBA and Griffin Jacks. Phillies, Marlins, Aaron Nola, Sandy Alcantara. Will Sandy remain on the Marlins? Who knows? Jays, Nats, Shane Bieber. He's pitched well his last 2 starts. Let's see. It was a little bit smoke and mirrors the last start. So let's see versus the Nationals offense. This could get loud tonight. I kind of think it's going to get loud tonight. I think the Nats are going to score off him. Let's see. Cavalli's going for the Nats. Braves, Mets. Good matchup here. About as good as you could hope for. Saylor and Christian Scott. Let's see how Christian Scott does. Royals, Twins, Lugo, Taj Bradley. Yankees, White Sox. Garrett Cole, Anthony Kay. Cole's looked great his last 2 starts, albeit with the home runs allowed and the losses, but let's see how he looks tonight. Cubbies, Cardinals, Colin Ray, who got kind of beat up by the Tigers last game, and the Cardinals are TBA. Astros, Angels, Peter Lambert, and maybe on the move, Reed Detmers. He'd be a get for somebody. He's pitched very well this season. Sox, A's. Ooh, the golden child, Jake Bennett, goes up against the A's in a tough ballpark to pitch. Also a young rookie, Gage Jump. So this is a fun matchup. See if Bennett can continue to tame the A's. Rockies, Padres, Lorenzen, Michael King. Will somebody take Michael Lorenzen off the Rockies' hands and maybe use him in a swing role? That'll be interesting. And my guy Michael King for the Pods. Brewers, Giants, Logan Henderson, Landon Roop. Mariners, Dodgers, Luis Castillo. Is he pretty close to making his last start with the Mariners? That'll be interesting. And Dodgers are TBA, so we'll see what happens there. All right, that was it for the stream today. We will keep moving up and getting closer to 10K on TikTok. We're looking for 12K soon. as possible on YouTube. Appreciate everybody that has subscribed and liked and commented and interacted and engaged with me on social media, in the streams, all that sort of stuff. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate you guys. So I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Be there, be square, and have a great Tuesday, everybody. All right, adios.